My name is Khalid. I'm 62 years old, a retired mechanic from a small town on the edge of the Arizona desert. Life had never been easy, but I built everything with these calloused hands for my family. After my wife passed away 10 years ago from cancer, Ahmed became my whole world. He was my pride. Smart, charming, and full of big dreams. I worked double shifts to put him through college, skipped meals so he could have new clothes, and sold my late wife's gold jewelry to cover his first car. But Ahmed changed. He moved to the city, started hanging with the wrong crowd and got into online gambling and shady loans. Last month, he called me in a panic. Baba, I owe $45,000. These guys, they're serious. They'll break my legs if I don't pay by Friday. His voice cracked like when he was a scared little boy. I drove 8 hours to meet him. We sat in a dingy motel room, the air thick with tension. I can't pay this beta, I told him firmly, looking into his bloodshot eyes. This isn't the way. I'll help you get a job, go to counseling, anything, but I won't throw good money after bad. You need to learn responsibility. Ahmed exploded. You always do this, you never support my dreams. Fine. If you won't help, I'll figure it out myself. He grabbed my truck keys, the truck I had gifted him on his 21st birthday, and stormed out. I followed him to the parking lot, begging him to calm down. That's when he made the worst decision of his life. We were on a remote desert road, miles from anywhere, after I insisted we drive together to think clearly. The temperature was already climbing to 108 Fahrenheit. Ahmed stopped the truck suddenly, yanked me out by the arm, and shoved me onto the scorching sand. You want me to suffer? Now you suffer, he screamed. Before I could react, he jumped back in, slammed the door, and sped off, leaving me with nothing but the clothes on my back, a half-empty water bottle, and the burning sun above. I shouted until my throat was raw. The dust settled. Silence, just the wind and the endless dunes. Panic hit me like a wave. My phone was in the truck, no one knew where we were. I started walking, each step sinking into the hot sand, the heat pressing down like a giant hand trying to crush me. The first few hours were pure survival mode. I remembered stories from my younger days. How Bedouins nomads survived deserts. I used my shirt as a head covering to block the sun. I walked slowly, conserving energy, sipping water only when my tongue felt like sandpaper. The temperature peaked at 108 Fahrenheit, and the ground felt like a frying pan through my worn shoes. My mind raced with memories. Ahmed as a toddler, running to me with scraped knees. Ahmed graduating, hugging me tight and whispering, "I'll make you proud, Baba." Where had that boy gone? Debt had turned him into a stranger. I thought about the hidden savings I kept. Money from selling our old family home after my wife died. It was meant for Ahmed's future, but only if he proved he could handle it. Now, that secret felt pointless. By late afternoon exhaustion set in. Hallucinations started. I saw my wife Fatima waving from a distant rock. "Keep going, Khalid," she seemed to say. I pushed on, finding a small rocky outcrop for shade as the sun began to dip. Night brought relief from the heat, but brought freezing cold and coyotes howling in the distance. I huddled against a boulder, praying for dawn. Back in the city, Ahmed was spiraling. He drove straight to his apartment, heart racing with guilt and fear. The loan sharks had called again. He pawned whatever he could find in my truck, tools, an old watch, and paid part of the debt. But it wasn't enough. That night, he stared at the ceiling, replaying the moment he left me. He'll be fine, he told himself. Someone will pick him up. Deep down, he knew the desert didn't forgive easily. Day 2, my lips cracked, my skin blistered. I found a dry riverbed and dug for water, striking a tiny seep that saved my life. I rationed every drop. Buzzards circled overhead. I talked to myself to stay sane. Recounting old stories I used to tell Ahmed before bed. I thought about forgiveness. Part of me understood his desperation. I had been hard on him, maybe too hard after losing his mother. But abandoning your father? That cut deeper than any debt. Meanwhile, Ahmed's week turned into a nightmare. The loan sharks showed up at his door, demanding the rest. They trashed his place and left him with a black eye. In panic, he called my old friends. No one had heard from me. Police reports went nowhere. Too many missing persons in the desert. Ahmed started driving back toward the spot where he left me, but the roads blurred in his guilt. He drank heavily, barely sleeping, haunted by visions of my face in the rearview mirror. On day 4, I was barely moving. Dehydration made me dizzy. I found an abandoned mine shaft for shelter and rested. A sudden rainstorm, rare in the desert, filled a small pool. I drank gratefully and caught a lizard for food. Hope flickered. I carved a message into a rock with a sharp stone. Ahmed, I forgive you. Come home. By day 5, search helicopters buzzed far away. I waved weakly but went unseen. My strength was fading, but so was my anger. All I wanted was my son back. A week later, Ahmed hit rock bottom. The loan sharks threatened his life. He sold the truck for pennies and finally confessed everything to the police. A full search was launched. As he sat in the station, shaking, reality crashed down. News reports mentioned an elderly man missing in the desert. Ahmed broke down in tears. I left my father there, because he wouldn't pay my stupid debt. Guilt ate him alive. He joined the search party, driving through the same roads, screaming my name into the wind. Baba, I'm sorry, I was wrong. He regretted every harsh word, every selfish choice. The big dreams that led to gambling now seemed worthless. He realized I had been protecting him all along. On the 7th day, a search team spotted my signal fire. Dry brush I had lit with a small mirror I found. They found me weak but alive, huddled under a rocky ledge. I was rushed to the hospital, severely dehydrated but with a fighting spirit. Ahmed arrived at the hospital room, eyes red, hands trembling. He fell to his knees beside my bed. Baba, I left you to die. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I looked at my son, the boy I raised through every storm. Tears welled up. Ahmed, the desert almost took me, but it taught me something too. Family isn't about money. It's about love and second chances. I told him about the hidden savings, enough to clear his remaining debt and start fresh, but only if he worked for it. No more shortcuts. Ahmed changed that day. He got a job at a garage, just like I did when I was young. He attended counseling for his gambling addiction. We moved back to our small town together. Evenings were spent talking, real talks about loss, pressure, and what it means to be a man. The desert tested us, but it also healed us. I recovered fully, stronger in spirit. Ahmed became the son I always knew he could be, responsible, caring, and grateful. He often says, that week was the worst and best thing that happened to me. It brought me back to you, Baba. Today, our story spreads hope. No matter how deep the betrayal or how hot the desert, love and regret can rebuild what was broken. If you're watching and facing family struggles, remember, one tough moment doesn't end the bond. Forgiveness is the real survival skill. The hospital lights felt too bright after days under the desert sun. Tubes and monitors beeped around me as doctors checked my vitals. Ahmed sat by my bed day and night, refusing to leave. His eyes were sunken, his face pale from lack of sleep. I keep seeing you standing there in the dust, Baba, he whispered one night. I was a monster. I squeezed his hand weakly. You were lost, Beta. The desert showed us both what matters. The doctors said I was lucky. Another day and I might not have made it. News of our story spread locally. A kind nurse recorded a short video of us hugging for the first time in years. It went viral on social media, with thousands commenting about family betrayals and second chances. Discharged after a week, we drove home in a borrowed car. The same desert road now looked different, less terrifying, more like a teacher that had tested us. Ahmed drove slowly, pointing out landmarks. This is where I turned back that day, he said, voice breaking. We stopped at the exact spot. I placed a small stone marker there, not for anger, but as a reminder of how close we came to losing everything. Back in our modest house, the silence was heavy at first. Ahmed cleaned every corner, cooked simple meals like dal and rice the way his mother used to make, and refused any help until I was stronger. He found my hidden savings box in the old cupboard. Instead of grabbing it, he pushed it toward me. I don't deserve this yet, let me earn it. Ahmed started working at the local garage where I once fixed cars. His hands, soft from city life, blistered quickly. Customers whispered about our story, but he kept his head down. Nights were harder. The loan sharks had been paid off with help from a community fund raised after the news broke, but the shame remained. One evening, Ahmed broke down while we sat on the porch watching the sunset. I gambled because I wanted to give you a big life, Baba. Fancy house, no more struggles. I thought quick money would fix everything. I shared my own regrets, how I pushed him too hard after losing his mother, fearing he would slip away too. We started therapy together. The counselor helped us talk about grief we had buried. Ahmed joined a support group for gambling addiction. Slowly, he opened up to strangers about leaving his father in the desert. It was the darkest moment of my life, he told them. Hearing other stories gave him strength. I began sharing old family photo albums. Stories of his mother's courage, how she worked as a teacher while battling illness, moved him deeply. He started recording short videos on his phone, narrating lessons he learned. One clip about the desert taught me gained traction online. People from all over wrote messages. This healed my relationship with my dad. Just as life settled, another storm hit. The old loan sharks weren't fully gone. One persistent collector, a man named Rico, tracked us down demanding interest. He showed up at the garage one afternoon, threatening Ahmed in front of customers. Fear gripped me when Ahmed called. But this time, my son didn't run. He stood tall. "I'm done with that life. Take me to the police if you want, but leave my father alone." The community rallied, neighbor, old friends, even the local sheriff. Rico backed off when he saw we wouldn't break. That night, Ahmed and I talked late. "You protected me once by saying no," he said. "Now I protect you." We reinforced the house doors and installed a simple security light. More importantly, Ahmed started a small savings plan, not for flashy dreams, but for our future together. He surprised me by fixing up my old workshop, organizing tools exactly how I liked them. The desert had broken us, but this new challenge welded us stronger. I saw the boy I raised returning, wiser and kinder. One quiet afternoon, I revealed the full truth about the savings. It wasn't just money from selling the family home. Part of it came from a small life insurance policy his mother left, with a letter for Ahmed. In it, Fatima wrote, "If you're reading this, be the man your father is, strong, honest and full of love." Ahmed read it with tears streaming. I failed her too. We visited her grave together, placing fresh flowers. He spoke to her for hours, promising to live better. From that day, he volunteered at the local youth center, teaching young boys about making smart choices and respecting parents. Our bond deepened through small daily things, morning chai together, evening walks, laughing at old memories. I taught him advanced mechanics. He taught me how to use a smartphone for video calls with distant relatives. The YouTube videos he made about our journey started getting views. People said his honest storytelling helped their families heal. Months later, life bloomed. Ahmed proposed expanding the garage into a small community auto school. "So no one else has to struggle like you did, Baba," I agreed proudly. Our first group of students included troubled teens, kids who reminded me of Ahmed's old self. The desert marker became a local symbol. Hikers visited it, leaving notes of forgiveness and love. Our full-story documentary-style video on YouTube touched millions. Comments poured in, "Brought me and my son back together, never give up on family, this is real love." At 63, I felt younger than ever. Ahmed, now 28, had become a man of integrity. We traveled to the desert once more, this time together, with water, maps and respect. Standing at the spot we hugged tightly. "I love you, Baba. Thank you for never giving up on me." Our message is simple: betrayal hurts, but regret can rebuild. Tough love saves lives. If you're watching and have a broken family relationship, reach out today. Forgive where you can. The desert taught us that even in 108 Fahrenheit heat, love can survive and grow stronger. The auto school idea took off faster than we expected. Within weeks, we had 10 young students, boys and girls from tough backgrounds who needed skills and direction. Ahmed taught hands-on repairs while I shared stories from my 40 years as a mechanic. "Tools don't lie," I told them. "Just like family, take care of it, and it takes care of you." Ahmed worked from sunrise to sunset. His gambling days were truly behind him. He even blocked the apps on his phone with my help. One evening, a student named Bilal reminded him of his younger self, angry, lost, and making bad choices because of family debt. Ahmed stayed late, mentoring him personally. "I left my father in the desert," he confessed openly. "Don't make my mistake." Our small garage transformed. Neighbors donated tools and paint. A local news crew came to film the Desert Redemption Garage. The story spread beyond our town, reaching cities where other families were struggling. Donations came in, not just money, but messages of hope. We used the funds to buy a second-hand van for mobile repairs, helping elderly people in remote areas. I watched Ahmed bloom. The boy who once abandoned me now carried water for me in the desert heat of the workshop. Our evenings ended with quiet prayers and planning for tomorrow. The savings I once guarded became startup money for the school, and it felt right. 6 months after the desert ordeal, a big surprise arrived. A letter from a distant relative in Pakistan informs us that my late wife's family had a small plot of ancestral land. They wanted to pass it to Ahmed as the only grandson. The news brought both joy and pain. We decided to visit together. The journey back to the old country was emotional. Ahmed saw the village where his mother grew up, met cousins he never knew, and heard stories of Fatima's strength. At her family graveyard, he broke down completely. "I wish I could tell her I'm sorry for hurting you, Baba." On that trip, Ahmed met a kind young woman named Ayesha. A teacher with a gentleman's strong values. They talked for hours about family, forgiveness, and second chances. Back home, their friendship grew slowly through video calls. For the first time, Ahmed asked my advice on matters of the heart. She knows our full story, Baba, and she still wants to know me. I gave him my blessing. Watching him heal completely filled the empty space left by the desert. Successes brought new challenges. A big city company offered to buy our garage for a large sum, planning to turn it into a modern chain. Many advised us to sell and retire comfortably. Ahmed was tempted for a moment. The money could erase all past mistakes forever. But he came to me that night. What would you do, Baba? I reminded him of the desert. Easy money almost destroyed us once. This place is saving lives now. Ahmed turned down the offer the next day. Then came the real test. A flash flood hit our area after rare heavy rains. The garage was damaged, tools ruined, and some students lost their homes. Instead of giving up, we turned the crisis into unity. Ahmed organized volunteers. I directed repairs from a chair. The community we helped now helped us back. In 2 weeks the garage was stronger than before. During the cleanup, Ahmed found the stone I had carved in the desert. Ahmed, I forgive you. He carried it home like a treasure. This is our foundation now, he said. A year later, the auto school had graduated over 50 students. Many found good jobs and sent thank you notes. Ahmed started a YouTube channel sharing repair tips mixed with life lessons. His most watched video was titled exactly like this story. My son left me in the 108 Fahrenheit desert. A week later he regretted it. Millions watched, and the comments section became a place of healing. I turned 64 surrounded by love. Ahmed and Ayesha got engaged in a simple ceremony at the desert marker. Family and students gathered as we lit lanterns at sunset. Ahmed spoke from the heart. One bad decision nearly ended everything. But forgiveness and hard work built something beautiful. He began mentoring even more deeply, teaching students not just mechanics but character. Your parents gave you life, he told them. Never leave them behind, no matter the heat. I felt peace I hadn't known since my wife's passing. The desert had taken almost everything, but returned it richer. Today, our garage stands as a beacon on the edge of the desert. Ahmed and Ayesha married and moved into a small home nearby. Their first child, a boy named after my wife's father, brought new light. I hold him and whisper stories of survival and love. We still visit the desert spot every year as a family ritual, not with pain but gratitude. The 108 Fahrenheit heat now reminds us of resilience. Ahmed often says, I thought I left you there to die, instead you saved my life. Our full journey proves that no mistake is too big for redemption. Family bonds can survive abandonment, debt, heat, and heartbreak. If you are watching this and carrying regret, whether you are the parent or the child, know that it's never too late. Pick up the phone, say sorry, forgive, start building again. Thank you for being part of our story. Like, share, and comment your own family experiences below. Together, we turn deserts into gardens. The story lives on, in every family that chooses love.